Doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't. Say it again. Say it slower. What is up, everybody, and welcome into the pregame show.
Let's go.
We're back, people. Wait a second. Is Dev late on the first day?
I think that's what Dev likes.
Is Dev late on day number one? Unbelievable. Well, it's preseason for all of us.
Let's go.
He would be benched if he was if he came into my camp late like that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right. Like it's gonna be a DNP.
We should just talk shit about him the entire time
until
he shows up.
I think we have like 2 minutes.
We're already going into it, guys. We made it through the long off season. We are now not in the on season, but we are in the preseason.
I'm calling it the on season. I don't even care.
You shouldn't. We have tradition.
Well, so hold on.
We have certain things to go through.
Well, hold on. How many seasons?
There's 4.
Pre.
Yeah.
On.
Off. Oh, and post. You skipped post.
Post.
Pre. On. Post. Off. What's your favorite?
Off.
Well, sorry, this is going to be really tough for you. Guys, Nuggets are hosting at Ball Arena. They're hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Nuggets are back. We have some game notes. How many minutes are they going to play? We're going to share a clip from Michael Malone's presser earlier today. Then we're going to go into some scrimmage clips. I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. Become a DNVR member.
Oh.
Become a DNVR member. It's $5 a month. It's a negligible amount of money.
Here's a piece of advice. Give me some money.
Just give us some money. But in the DNVR Lounge, the private chat that we have on our Discord channel, I put the entire highlights of the scrimmage, 10 minutes, all 10 minutes that the media got to see, put it all up on there. And if you wanted to watch it, I'm going to share some specific clips that I found most interesting. But this is like the little perks you get, you guys, little inside details, and we're going to be using that more and more this year.
I also put in the chat today the ability to preview a new shirt.
Really? You did that?
I do it all the time.
Man, you do it all the time, so this is why you want to go. We're also going to wrap up final thoughts on camp, and then if Dev does get here in time, hopefully he's going to make us some bets. I mean, if Dev's here, I don't know.
Let's make the first bet. Will Dev arrive?
I'll say 6:36. That's my. You're going to go over under
3 minutes? 2 minutes? Woo.
Make your bet. Place your bet now.
You're going under, dude.
All right, guys. First up, Michael Malone spoke to the media today, and much to my surprise, I thought the starters were going to come in and play one half. 2 stints, one half, be done with it. He says 16 to 22 minutes, Eric. 16 to 22 minutes of Jamal Murray, 16 to 22 minutes of Michael Porter, 16 to 22 minutes of Nikola Jokic, and then he said they'll ramp up from there, meaning in the future games they're going to play more minutes, not fewer minutes. So that's pretty exciting. And then when it asked just about like what is he looking for the team tonight, I love this answer from Malone. He just wants to see them emphasize the things. If you've been watching the show, he's established the themes of this year. He's established them. He wants to see them focused on those things. What are they? Transition defense, but it's defense overall. He wants them to be a top 5 defense this year. Why do you laugh? Why do you laugh, Eric?
I've never heard him say anything different. Not one time.
Yeah, you're right.
Not one time have I ever heard him say anything different. Listen, consistency is key.
Wow. What time did I say?
35. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Hey, Dev, good of you to join us today. What? Good of you to make an appearance on your show.
Early, man. You guys is watching.
Did we move it up? Did we do something different this year?
It's so weird. It's not me.
Michael Malone, while Dev gets settled in, you go ahead and get settled in. Find your bets that you want to put in the last segment. Check your email.
Bets here?
Yeah, we have bets.
Bets in preseason?
Yeah, we have bets. Wow. Go ahead and play in your segment. Kale, why don't you play the clip from Michael Malone? When he was asked, what does he look for from Michael Porter and from Jamal Murray, what was he looking for from those guys tonight?
Coach, do you have a message for Jamal or Michael as they play out on the court for the first time in a long time?
Go out there, have fun, do your job, and do your job within the team, concept. But I think Jamal mentioned it's been 539 days, since that he suffered the ACL injury in Golden State on April 12th. It's a long time ago. I just want to go out there and play, do what he did in training camp. He was just out there playing basketball. And same thing for Michael Porter. I don't want them putting any undue pressure. This is just an opportunity to get better. Go out there, have fun, play for your teammate. And when you do that, usually good things happen for yourself.
Coach Eddie.
So, this is kind of a basic message nonetheless, but, he did say, it's just like training camp. Don't put any extra pressure on yourself. I have a feeling that message will be somewhat ignored. Don't you think, Dev?
No, for sure. It has to. It's been a long time coming. And also, it's a prove it, like a welcome back, but I have to prove myself. He also wants to show that he's able to play every single night. So with that, I mean, you have like the urge to just prove that you can make every single shot. You could play hard. Yeah. You also want to play defense and show that you have that type of movement. So, yeah, it's going to be ignored for sure.
I want to ask you this one, D-Line. This is not the regular season. But to the point, it's been 30-something days since Jamal Murray last played. To me, this is a big moment. This is like we get to see them play tonight. Is it a big moment for you?
I mean, it's a big moment in that it signifies the changing of the season. In that, like, we can start to usher back in where we thought we were going to be a year ago. But I mean, like this, it's not a big deal other than it's just sort of like, oh my God, it feels good. Like seeing him play doesn't actually matter, but it just signifies that we're back, baby.
Right.
Like, so yes, this is big.
But to me, I'm telling you, I had the pleasure of getting to watch the scrimmage, the media portion of scrimmage, and just watching him play, and Michael Porter as well. It's kind of like I hadn't seen it. We've seen the little clips, but those don't count. Those games aren't serious. Seeing a full speed, this or that, I was just this is dope. I got all the feelings watching it, and I think everybody tonight that's watching is going to be surprised how much they feel that way as well.
I think it's going to be a little bit more, just because of the idea of it's like a mental hurdle for those guys that they've been able to scrimmage. They've been to open gyms. They've been in those things, but until you're actually doing it with other NBA players in a meaningful or just a real game at game speed, like that just changes it a little bit more for you mentally, where you're like, okay, I could still do those type of things. In practice, those guys really want to make sure that you're okay. They're not trying to hurt you or anything like that. At open gym, you don't want to be the guy that's playing too hard.
Right.
But in a game, it really matters. So if you're able to do the same things that you're able to do in those type of settings, you're like, okay, I'm all right. I'm going to be okay.
It wouldn't be bad if Michael Porter and Jamal each had 20 tonight in their 16 minutes. It wouldn't be a bad thing.
I would say it'd be all right.
You guys ready to set expectations here? Does this game mean anything? No. Only if it's good. Jamal comes out, has 20. Well, so Michael Porter comes out, goes 5 for 5 from 3.
The game means nothing, but the play means something.
Okay.
That. If who cares?
If Jamal plays bad tonight, come on.
If he plays bad, but he's missing shots, that doesn't matter. If he looks like slower than other people, or he looks like he is somehow.
Well, I've seen him. He's not going to look that, I don't think.
What are you asking me then? Yeah. Just tell everyone what's what.
I think that it becomes like it's a win-win situation. If you're just able to make a couple of shots, if you're able to get to the rim and finish, if you're able to come up with a few stops, you just got to find those small wins in the game. And it doesn't matter exactly how how they do or if they go up with 20 points or anything like. If you get 20 points, you're like exceeding the expectations a little too much. I actually don't want them to get 20 points in the game because then they're not going to slow down at that point. It's I'm all the way back. I want them to just ease their way into it, play make a couple of shots, but don't go all out and prove that like I'm all the way back because they're not.
Right. Yeah. Malone had 2 other things to say that I thought were interesting. One of them, he reiterated a talking point that I've had through training camp, and that is that I really do think that Michael Malone really likes Calvin. I'm not trying to compare this to the previous regime, this or that, but I really do feel like both guys are in lockstep right now. Not in terms of like, there have been times in the past where I felt like they're in lockstep in that they're compromising to meet in the middle. This one seems to me as if they're both like, no, we have the same belief for what this team wants. And he just kind of reiterated that in his pregame presser. And then the last one, somebody asked, like, are you excited for this team? And he said, look, I'm very excited, but our whole staff, I told him, we're going to keep preaching the work. Don't focus on the goal. Focus on the work. Get all of the guys understanding because there's so much work ahead. And I think that's the right one. Like, we're short on comments coming out of training camp that are like, we're a championship team or, oh, we're so excited. Wait till you guys see. We're short on those quotes. But I don't think we're short on that sentiment. I just think everybody understands, don't say anything. We're here just to like take one step at a time.
Guys, don't say that. We'll say those parts. That's coming from us, dude.
All right, you guys want to peek behind the curtain and do a little analysis of a scrimmage that was filmed on a phone?
Oh, I need it.
Let's go, dude. Yeah, how behind the curtain?
I got 2 good newses and 2 bad news. Why don't we start with the good news?
Let's go.
You want to start with the good news?
Please.
Bones Highland. Kale, can you fire up Bones Highland? And you can keep our mics hot here so I can kind of talk through them. Maybe roll the volume down on the video clip if you're able to pulling that off. Let's take a look. Bones Highland had some very impressive moments here. I want you to look at that white line. That's the three-point line. If you look down on the floor, if you look at the clock, guys, nothing but three. If you look at the clock, this is the fourth quarter of a scrimmage. He's hitting this with like 4 minutes to go, a step-back contested three in a very close scrimmage. All right, shot clock winded down, 10 seconds. What are we going to do? Let's just reset. Again, KCP is at the three-point line.
Oh, my God.
And again, this is 2 minutes on the clock of a very contentious game. And now we're going to watch our poor guy, Yoke. Totally spun around.
Wow.
Guys, Bones looked awfully good.
Holy shit.
Bones is like just a guy whose name I keep hearing. I'm very excited to watch him play tonight. But you see him pull up from the first one, Dev, 5 feet behind the line. The second one is like 10, 11, 12 feet behind the line. It was so far behind the line.
Highland.
KCP was locked in, and it was just like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, really, you got to force those type of, you force people to take those type of shots. There's a reason you're open. But if you start hitting those type of shots when you're open, that just opens up your game so much more. It's going to be very hard. First off, he's a great shooter, but he blows by you so fast. How do you defend a guy that you can't stay in front of, but also you can't give space? Like, you just really just got to just hope for the best at this point. Yeah. And then he did our man Yoke like that. He had no business turning him around.
We didn't know that it was being recorded on a cell phone. It was going to be displayed.
You know what's funny? Can I tell you something? I think he knew. like Bones kind of looks over at the camera at one point.
Like, watch this.
Watch this three.
And also on top of that, all three guys that he did it on are like the guys. It wasn't like he was doing it against like some backups or anything like that, or just like if he was to like hit off like a Marcus Howard or something like that, you're like, all right. Dude, but he's doing it against Yoke, KCP. He doesn't care.
Just so everyone remembers, I know this happened during the offseason. I did already bet Bones Highland to win Most Improved Player of the Year.
I'll bet you this is going to be such a great buyout candidate bet if you want it. Like, it's going to be one of the 2 weeks into the season.
He's going to win it.
Oh, of course. I will say, me and D-Line were talking the other day because I kept saying, like, man, I'm just feeling so good about Bones this year. I just am feeling my stock is at an all-time high. But one thing I'll tell you, we talked about the Dame Lillard, literally Dame Lillard. I do think he has a lot of Dame Lillard in his game, a lot of it. I kind of see a lot of Kyrie in his game, man. His handle is so quick, and his moves are so ridiculous. He's got that thing on a string that, I mean, he's a hybrid of obviously of a lot of players. So he's got a little Jamal in his game. But I think he's got more Kyrie than I've ever seen before.
I don't think his handle is that good, though. I think he's got more jaw.
He's
I mean,
explosive.
Kyrie's the number one handle of all time, so yes, he doesn't have it that good.
He
but
says his long arms, and
I'm telling you, he has some moves, man.
Yeah,
the ability to just stop on a dime and shoot it, but also you're so fast that you just get to blow by. Like that is pretty scary. I can't wait till he like really just starts finishing above the rim or around the rim, where it just becomes like that much more dangerous. Like we're gonna be able to see him in bigger stints, and I think it's the best that he's the one that they're already talking about a lot because the season, like I'm not gonna say it relies on him, but it's gonna be a lot of nights he's having to play a big minute.
And I'll tell you, it's not when you say they're talking about him, they're not talking about him in the scrums. It's one thing when you come out and you're like in the scrum, hey, we're trying to hype this guy. It's another thing when you're just like taking temperature from people, like, hey, how'd it go tonight? Man, Bones had some moments. It's like, wow, okay, that was your first note is Bones now. Like that's where you get it. Next one here. Very excited about this. One of the things I'm so excited watching this live scrimmage is how much it hits you that there's shooters everywhere. KCP, Michael Porter run to the corners in transition. 2 elite knockdown corner 3-point shooters. Jamal Murray finds himself there. When you get Aaron Gordon initiating plays, good things happen. Here's one in transition and one in the half court. Go ahead and play him, Kale. We'll go ahead and watch that. This is the one in transition. It was a great defensive sequence from the first team, and you bring it up. So who runs to the corners? Murray, MPJ. You're just going to generate wide open looks, man. You stretch the court like that.
Oh, my God.
That was a green bean.
And then we got another one here, and this is in the half court.
Whose camera is this?
Watch how easily you generate what you want here. Pick and roll with Yoke, switch. So you already got your center out of the play.
Oh, spacing.
I mean, that spacing is like, I'm telling you.
Oh, my God, let's go.
I'm telling you, look how easy that was. That wasn't a sexy play. That was just like, hey, we got too many weapons out here, and everybody kind of knows what to do.
That's really like, how do you slow that down, especially on a team that already led the league in passes? Like now you get the extra passes with shooters on that other end, and not just regular shooters. Like everybody's dangerous in which they could They could shoot and also they could get to the rim. There's no one that's just straight shooter besides MPJ, but he's also a great finisher around the rim. So just having that type of spacing, especially with the MVP in the league down the middle who's a great passer, like how do you slow them down? Really?
You just get. I'm telling you, defensively they got to figure it out, and then just playing together because it is one of those things where you watch plays like that. AG initiating it, I just love it because it gives you Jokic and 3 floor spacers spacing whatever action it is just to start. Again, you saw AG attack that pick and roll. He wasn't trying to score. He was just trying to get a switch, pass it, get to the corner. Like it's just simple stuff like that, man. This is why when Malone says, Porter, we need you to get to the corner, he's not saying go get to the corner and stand there. He's saying just start there. Because it's so easy for us to get them out of sorts, and now we're just going to find the guy.
Oh, dude, that starting unit makes so much sense. It's like crazy when you have players that have. This is the thing that you get with continuity, like a front office has been together for a long time, and unfortunately we lost that. But like we had, the same people, at least the same like game plan in mind, and like it just takes time to get the pieces in the system together, and like now you have then you finally make the right trade. You get Aaron Gordon to be the gritty guy that you needed. It's man, and then what I'm most excited about? I told you this the other night. The thing that I'm most excited about this season is that I don't care about the rookies at all. At all.
I do, but way less than any other year. Yeah. Way less.
Yeah, every year we're like, oh, this new kid is going to save us.
Yeah,
now we're like, these kids should just like wait and get out of the way. Like just learn and
learn.
Like don't
do your job in a small.
Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not like not into them, but it shows you that the championship window is open.
Yeah.
When you stop looking to your rookies to solve your problems, that's when you know you're in a good
Christian
place.
Brown can help them out, but only as like a replacement to what they already have in a certain way, which would be great. But yeah. I want to get to the negative, guys. We got to keep it moving.
Oh, boy.
There are 2 negative, and I felt bad putting these clips together, but I do think they were important because they both involve MPJ. And listen, MPJ is going to be the biggest challenge because he represents the highest upside here. The first one, Kale, is the MPJ charge. Go ahead and play this one. Because I love that Michael Porter is being aggressive. I saw him go to the basket so hard. Watch how recklessly he goes to the basket on this play. Like, that's a guy coming off of back surgery, clearly unbothered by it. But I want you to kind of, as I zoom in here, 4 guys are standing in the paint at the moment he attacks.
Oh, my goodness.
Four defensive players, and he's got Jamal open. Now, a guy that's rusty, coming off of a whole year, and you see Jamal pretty frustrated. A guy that's coming off it, like you expect the reads to be off. But to me, this is going to be one of the biggest challenges. Michael Porter, I think, desperately wants to fit in and like he wants his talents to be applied properly and all of this stuff. But I think the nature of him missing so much time is reads like that are going to be slow coming. And I think for guys like Jokic and Jamal, who in that clip clearly are just like, God damn it, like that's going to be the challenge. I just feel like there's going to be a tension there that I hope is a healthy one because Porter's obviously so talented.
Yeah, to me, when I look at that, I'm like, he's not scared of contact.
So, number one takeaway I had.
That for me, I'm like,
he did it twice in a row, actually. By the way,
dude, for that, the rest of the stuff's gonna come, and he can shoot.
He in between these charges or whatever, he knocks down 2 contested threes.
Yeah, I see it the opposite way. I don't see the positive of the contact thing. I think it's actually worse that he's willing to take on, make the game easier for you. For one, for two, when you see Jamal and you see Jokic pissed off like that. The idea was you took a whole year off to just see how we play basketball. And you're doing the same things that irritated us when you were last playing. This should have been a year of knowing that you could make the extra pass and it's going to come back to you. This should have been a year of understanding like high IQ plays. And you saw a guy coming, why not make that extra pass?
Do you think you can do that without playing though? Like, is it? I mean, I understand the study part, but can you really apply that to your game without playing?
I think so. I think it's more so of like, dang, like that was an easy shot. Like he's seen easy shots in the other highlights. He's like, oh, that was an easy shot. Like if I make that extra pass, somebody else is going to be open.
This specific play is whatever. It's just a play. Yeah. I think the thing is that Michael Porter is chomping at the bit. And it's like one of those things where it's like he's going to have to both be aggressive but also patient in a way that's probably excruciating for a player of his caliber.
To me, it's like he got the ball and he's like, before he got it, he's like, I'm taking this to the rim.
Trust me, I thought, shoot that, dude. You make every shot you
but
take,
he's
just
like,
shoot the three.
He's like, I'm taking it to the rim, and he
Yeah.
gets like tunnel vision, and to me, it's like the longer you're on the court, like that opens up.
I
'cause
agree. I agree.
You're not like
This next one is the one that really concerns me, though. That first one, I just put it in there just because I wanted to say, like, the timing for Jamal. Jamal's going to have plays like that last one, too, where you're just kind of like, man, how'd you not read the court? Well, I've been out for 531 days. Yeah. This next one, though, is the one that kills me. You have to understand the context. This is do or die time for the starters. They're down 5 minutes with like a minute to go. Yoke takes a bad shot, by the way. I don't know why he kind of forced a three. I think he thought he was getting a foul. Keep an eye on Michael Porter on the right side. Just keep an eye on him. This is the game on the line.
I didn't even.
He's just watching.
He just got a rebound taken from him for no. And now this is it. Like the Nuggets, the starters down 5 with a minute to go. It's over. It's over. 2 minutes to go or whatever. And
it was Davon with the nail.
And it was one of those plays where if you could watch, if you rewatch that one with the all the coaches on the sideline, they all go like, they kind of give one of these because it's one of those ones where it was like, that wasn't a 50-50 ball. That was a 70-30 ball that he didn't get. And it's just one of those ones, again, where those are the plays that I think with Porter that are just going to take time because those aren't the things you're sitting in bed thinking about.
Right.
You're thinking about the jumper. You're thinking of all of those things. And to me, that just stood out. So 2 good, 2 bad clips.
Yeah, I mean, that one I'm not as upset about as the first one, honestly.
Really?
I think that the extra pass is something that you just have to learn because you want to fit in and you want to prove that you're a part of it. That rebound, like, maybe it was told to him, and that's why I say, you say it's about context. Maybe they're like, we're not diving for those type of plays. Maybe we're not going super hard on that. But also, like, that's a rebound you can get. So you have a conversation, but I don't want him to get hurt, over a play like that.
Yeah. Malone put in the Hubie. You guys see this report from Mike Singer from Friday? He put in a new stat, the Hubie, which is like, when a shot goes up, you either go with the rebound or you're getting back on defense. Yeah. And I honestly, like, some people even commented, like, oh, they put a Michael Porter rule in. I mean, I think this is it. Yeah. Just try to get people in the mind frame of, hey, when a shot goes up, everybody has a job to do. Figure out which one yours is and go for it. I don't want to belabor the point because it was just one, but those are the types of plays to me that are going to stand out even more tonight in a positive way if he is grabbing those types of boards and making those types of plays. Like I said, not pictured in this. Michael Porter hitting some pretty tough contested threes. And
why you got to do him like that?
And make you feel all the feels that you always do. A couple quick camp takeaways because I didn't get to join you guys on Friday, man. I was kind of bummed. Although you guys saw my nose.
We did see your nose. It was the single worst thing that's ever appeared on this show.
Really?
The angle, we weren't ready for it.
That's rough. I just want to, these are my thoughts coming out of camp. I've said this a bunch, but this is a veteran team. The vibes are great. Michael Malone has been so positive, and that never happens. He always has one ass-kicking day. He didn't have any of that. There's a real quiet confidence to this group, and I think it comes from having all the veterans or this or that. Bones really excites me. What excites me more than anything, though, I think Christian Brown's going to play a lot this year, and I think he's going to play very quickly. We saw Davon Reed knock down that shot. I think that Christian Brown is a guy that represents a third. You have KCP, you have Bruce Brown, elite defenders. I think Christian Brown represents another one of those guys to the team, and they're going to make him earn it, but I would not at all be surprised if he earns it very early in the season and then just becomes another. I mean, if he becomes Austin Rivers to where you just have 3 elite perimeter defenders, I don't think we fully understand what that means for a team.
Right.
Very few teams had 3 elite perimeter defenders last year.
You can lock down the perimeter.
That's what I'm saying.
3. I mean, like that. Yeah, you can't get into the interior.
It's a playoff rotation.
Absolutely.
A playoff rotation is Jamal and Bones, who are like top 99th percentile in offense from the guard spot. Bruce, KCP, and Christian Brown, who you hope are top 80th percentile defensively there. And then neither of those guys are giving away too much on the other side. To me, I think Christian Brown, interestingly enough, represents sort of a swing piece for this roster. Not as an important one, but just in that if you get into a playoff series and you have 3 guys to throw at Steph, it's like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and you talked about, like, that defense. And also we just saw in the play, he was willing to put his body on the line to take a charge. No one got upset about it. Yep. He's clapping, so he's getting back to himself and being comfortable. But he's going to put his body on the line. And also, he's not a player that has to get it done offensively, which I think is really great. Like, if the shots fall, that's okay, especially with the spacing that the team has. but a guy that's just locked in on defense, that's willing to put his body on the line, that's willing to,
he took
not
2 charges
play,
in that 10-minute stretch.
and not play a bunch of minutes. Like, that's what you need from a young guy.
A young athletic guy, not scared of contact. Like, that's, I can see it.
But your point remains, though, about them not, because the thing is like, if he plays 10 minutes, that would be a lot. It's not that he's coming in to do anything.
sure.
It's like, hey, play 10 minutes. You're going to have 3 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal. Like, the stat line's going to be unimpressive, all that stuff. But it doesn't matter. You need a guy that just goes in there and does a job like that. And I think he has the skill set that makes a lot of sense, especially Bruce Brown, KCP. You got a third one of those guys. Zeke Naji, I'm also very excited for tonight. I mentioned there's like, who are the guys saying off the record or this or that? Who are the guys saying on? Zeke Naji got a lot of praise from Michael Malone throughout the week, to reporters, this or that. I feel like they're pretty confident in him. Tonight starts an opportunity for him to really break into the rotation and become an impact piece.
So wait a minute. We never got an actual declaration. Who was MVP of training camp?
Man, that's a great question. The MVP of training camp. Man, you're going to hate it because you're going to say I'm biased. As a player, I would say Bones.
Okay.
As a veteran, DeAndre Jordan.
Oh, my God.
DeAndre Jordan, I'm telling you, was brought up by Michael Malone 5 different times.
Who's out of here? This is unbelievable.
Who planned all of the extracurricular activities?
This is the first time I've heard this name. I've watched all the content. I've been on the show.
No, it's not the first time. It's not the first time. I'm telling you, who planned the outing to the baseball game?
Well,
No. Okay, who was it?
Am I the
Can I
MVP
tell
of the
you
Nuggets
something?
Let's go to the zoo.
What was one of my big takeaways? I just went from camp. The vibe's different.
Yeah.
The guys are doing stuff like it's this connected veteran group. DeAndre Jordan not only gets it so that everybody gets to go as VIPs to the Padres game, which, by the way, the Padres in a playoff hunt. This is like a big game that they were going to.
I'm sure they were like, I can't wait to see the Padres in a playoff.
Well, here's the thing. So what does DeAndre do?
It was hard to get it.
DeAndre Jordan gets custom-made jerseys for every single person on the team. Don't tell me that's nothing.
Don't tell me he's the MVP for that either.
I honestly think he's the MVP in terms of like, why was training camp so positive vibes? Why was like everybody laughing and everything the whole time? DeAndre Jordan, that's what he did. And then playing golf, you ask anybody like, oh, who'd you do that with? They're like, DeAndre. I'm telling you, it's why he was brought in. He's in the like super Mike Miller role. He's brought in to just be like, hey man, you're feeling a little down. Let's go to like, Zeke Naji, you're in a little bit of a slump. Let's go
I hear what
to
you're
the
saying.
symphony. Or
I
something. I don't know, whatever Zeke wants.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree. Bones was the MVP, as you mentioned.
I think as a player,
I really don't think that there's nothing to it. I don't know if he was the MVP, DeAndre Jordan, but I can't say that like guys weren't different this year.
Yeah.
Like, and he's the one difference for it, and he's open. Other
he's not
people
the
are
one
more open to the idea. People are joking that were not joking before. They're
It's so true.
We haven't seen guys at
Dude,
at the
Jeff
baseball
Green is
game
like a
as
different
group.
person, man.
We got to see Yoke at a American game with the jersey on. Like, come on, that's different.
Well, let me put, he's only been to 2 baseball games. The last time, the Phillies with Jameer Nelson. I'm telling you, there are rules and responsibilities veterans have. And he's even unlocked Jeff. I feel like Uncle Jeff truly
sure.
became an uncle when he got his other uncle to show up.
And now Jeff is bringing other guys under the wing where they're starting to be a little
I
bit
can't
more
wait
open.
for the on season to start. It just has to. The
right.
number of this shit.
Do you have a quick bet for us? We only have 1 second for bets.
Yeah, the bet is going to be the over in the game. Guys want to score.
Top
And
5
it's-
defense.
It's a low. No. It's going to be the over. It's a low-scoring game. It's 2:15.5. We might as well just bet on the over. I just think it's going to happen.
All right.
Denver definitely can score. I wonder if there's a bet on just Denver. That's probably what I would go with.
Denver score. Oh, just their points?
What
Yeah.
do we have Bones threes? Do they have the player props?
They have no
don't
player
I don't think they're going to do player props.
That's
yeah.
you can only be so much of a sicko. Like you have to like. At a certain
All right, I'm
point-
setting the Bones line at 1.5 threes tonight.
over. Bling, 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 bling,
But
bling.
you can get minus 180 at 2.5 over or 2.5.
Taking it. My man's hitting 3 minimum.
I agree. I think he's hitting 5. Guys, I'm so excited to be back. Pre-show was fun. We're gonna go watch the Nuggets play right now.
Oh, my God.
We'll see you on the other side.